Hello students, greeting you. In last lecture, we already have discussed the object-oriented programming concepts. Right? Means the different types of characteristics that we can use in our C++ program, right? Object-oriented program. Okay. So in today's lecture, we are going to start with our basics. C++ basics you can know, the object-oriented programming basics you can know. Okay. So to start with this C++ programming basics, to start with these basics, I just want to have one program we are going to discuss this C++ basics with one program. Okay. Let us say that we are going to discuss today one program to print hello world on the console screen. Okay. So the problem that we are having, that we just have to print the hello world on the console screen. Okay. So we just have to write down one program in our C++ programming language with the help of or by using the OOPS concept, right? So actually, if you observe the program after writing this program, we are not going to use the actual OOPS concept, but this program is going to help you to understand that how any programming language is going to work. Okay, so let us start with the program. We all know that the main function is very important in every programming language. You have studied C programming language, and in that C programming language, you just have studied that your program is going to be executed with a main function. Same like that, this C++ programming language, or in this C++ programming language, your program is going to start, is going to execute from the main function. So let us start with one program so that we can get the output hello world on our console screen. Okay, so I am going to write so main function. Okay, void main, right? So I am going to start with this void main function, opening braces. Okay, in this opening braces, what I have to do, I have to print hello world on my console screen. Now, to print anything on my console screen, I am having one keyword, right? With the help of that keyword, I can print anything on my console screen. So, what is that keyword? We are going to discuss different types of keywords. What are these keywords? What are these variables? From next lecture. But in today's lecture, I just want to give some introduction of C++ programming language to this program. So, we are having a keyword that is nothing but Cout. Right? With the help of this keyword Cout, what we are going to do? We are going to print a group or a string on your console screen. Now, what I have to print on my console screen? I just have to print a hello world message. Right? Hello world message on my console screen. So, with the help of this insertion operator, what I can do, I can print the double quoted string on my console screen, right? On my console screen. Now, after this, what I can do, I can close these braces, right? But now this is my program with the help of which I can put hello world on my console screen. But before that, whenever I am going to compile this program, I am going to have some kind of errors or some kind of warnings on my PC, right? What kind of warnings will be there? This program is not going to identify this cout keyword. Why? Because we don't have included the header files in which we have defined this keyword. So for that purpose, we need to insert the header files which are required to use this keyword. So what header file we require? That is nothing but hash include. We can have input output string. This is nothing but input output string that can be used to print the output on your console screen. So iostream dot h. It is nothing but a header file in which we just have defined this cout keyword. So this error or this warning can be removed once you include this iostream.h header file, right? Header file. Now, if you are going to again recompile, now you will not have any kind of error or any kind of warning in your program. But whenever you are going to run your program, you will not going to have the console screen, right? To have that console screen, it is very important that you should use the get.ch, right? The get.ch keyword is there. With the help of this get.ch, you can hold your console screen and you can you can show your message on the console screen, right? So this get.ch will be there. Now this get.ch is the keyword which is again defined by another header file. So we need to include such a kind of header files every time in your program. So hash include is there. Get.ch that we are having that is defined by conio.h file is there. Console input output dot header file, that is conio.h header file, right? Now if you compile this program, your program will be compiled, and after running, if you press or if you execute this program will be executed, and on your console screen, you are going to have output just like this. Hello. Right? Now, if the next time you again compile this program, again you are going to run this program, then again you are going to have the hello world. Your console screen is not going to be clear. To clear the console screen of your previous program that you have executed, you can use one more keyword or one more function, that is clear screen, CLR, and with the help of which every time whenever you are going to execute this program, your screen will be clear. On that clear screen, you are going to print out your hello world keyword, right? Or hello world string that you have double inserted into the double quote. And after that, with the help of get.ch, your console screen is going to be hold for some time. Okay? So this is nothing but the program. Now, if you observe this program, in this program, you have not used any kind of concept from your object-oriented programming. Right? There is no concept that you have used. You say class is nothing but an object-oriented programming, right? Which can be implemented with the help of C++ programming. Object is there, encapsulation is there, polymorphism is there. This program is a very basic program with the help of which you are going to understand that how you just have to write down a program in your C++ programming language. Okay, so this is the basic programming language with the help of which you can write down your program by using different kind of functionalities. Now, once again, I am just going to explain this program that what each line is going to display. Now, you are going to say that what this hash include is. Hash is nothing but preprocessor. With the help of this preprocessor, while executing or in your program, before all this code, before your void main, these instructions are going to be executed. That is preprocessor. Now, with the help of this hash include, this preprocessor is going to be executed in which, with the help of this include keyword, what we are going to include iostream.header file into our program. Means the functions or the functionalities that have been provided with the help of this iostream.h file can be used by our program. Again, we are having hash include conio.h. In conio.h, we are having some kind of functionalities, some kind of features. Those functionalities can be directly accessed in our program, right? By using only keywords, just like clr, str, getch, and cout. Okay. Now, this file name, it is a main function. This file is nothing but return type. You can use any kind of return type. Generally, we use the void return type. If your function is returning something, data, at that time you can use the another return type, just like integer, character, float, depending on what kind of data that your function is going to return, right? And this part I already have explained, right? So this is nothing but the basic program, a very basic program with the help of which we can write down C++ program to display the hello world string on our console screen. Okay, I hope you have understood this program. Okay, so this is a basic program. Now we are going to discuss one more program, that is by using the class, right? We are discussing or we are learning the C++ programming with the help of OOPS concept. So in our program, there should be some kind of classes that we have implemented, some kind of methods that we have implemented. So we will see one example in which we have used the objects, classes, and the methods. Okay, so let us start with the another program. Okay, just wait for this. Okay, so in the next example, the next program that we are going to discuss, we are just going to have, we are going to write down one program with the class name. Let us consider class name is rectangle. Okay, so we just have to find out our problem definition is find out the area of rectangle. We just have to find out the area of rectangle by using one class with name rectangle, right? So we can have one function with name area in which we are going to calculate the area of that rectangle. Okay, so let us start with the program. We are going to start with a program. Let us consider a class rectangle. Okay, now we are starting with rectangle, but at the time of execution, your program is again going to be started with the main function, right? But in our OOPS concept, our program is going to, we are going to write down our program with the help of class. First of all, we will define class, and then we are going to have the object of that class in our main function. Okay, so what our class can have, right? Class is nothing but a data type, right? User defined data type, that rectangle, right? So what can it have? We are going to define variables in that, those can be used. So public variables are there. With the help of this public variable, we are going to define integer length, comma, breadth. To find out the area of rectangle, we are having a formula, that is area of rectangle is equal to length multiplied by what? Your breadth. Right? That is nothing but your area of rectangle. So it is very important that we should have the length and breadth with us. Right? So we just have initialize the integer variable length and breadth with our program. Now these are the variables. Those are going to be used in your class rectangle. Now, what we have to implement, what is the functionality that we are going to implement with the help of this class rectangle? That is nothing but we just have to find out the area of rectangle. That is nothing but a method we are going to call, we are going to define, that is wide area. With the help of this wide area, we are going to calculate the area for our rectangle. How it is possible? We know that the area is equal to what? Length multiplied by breadth. Length multiplied by breadth. Now we just have to print out this value of a on our console screen. In the previous program, we just have studied that how we can print a message on our console screen. So for that purpose, cout area of rectangle is equal to. Now this message will be this message is going to be print out on our console screen, and with the help of this a, we are going to print it on our console screen. The value of a will be printed out on our console screen. Okay, so we are going to print a message area of rectangle is equal to dash dash. The value that we are going to get from with the help of this length and breadth, that is going to be defined, that is going to be displayed on the screen. But the next is we are going to close this void, and after that we are going to close this class. But if you observe this variable a or area, we don't have initialized or we don't have defined. So in the function itself, we can define this a. Right? Now we have defined this a, which can be of type integer. Means the value after multiplication will be of type integer. Right? So this is nothing but a class rectangle in which we are having public variables which can be used throughout this class, length and breadth. Wide area is the function that we can calculate with the help of this wide area. Same like wide area, we can have, if you want to calculate, we can, what we can say, value of your rectangle, you can create just like one function, wide value integer b, your formula to find out the value and to print out that value. We can use cout area of rectangle is equal to insertion operator a. Okay, so this is the way to write down the class. In our class, what we are going to have? We are going to have the variables that we are going to use and the functionalities that we are going to implement with the help of our class. Okay. Now, the important part that we are going to write down is nothing but main function, right? Here I am going to write down the main function, right? Now I am going to start with your main function opening braces. In that, obviously, now I am having one rectangle class. With the help of this rectangle class, I am going to create one variable rectangle R. Right? Now this rectangle is nothing but your class name, and I am going to have R variable R. I am going to define or declare variable R with type rectangle, right? With type rectangle. Now, with the help of this object, I have created one object that is R. I am going to initialize R dot length is equal to say 4 and R dot breadth is equal to say 5, right? R dot length is equal to 4, R dot breadth is equal to 5. Now, this length is going to be assigned for this length from your rectangular class. Means this value that you are going to have length is nothing but your 4, breadth is nothing but your 5. And in case whenever you are going to call this function R dot area, at that time these values are going to be used in your class, and according to this value you are going to have an output as an area of your rectangle, as an area of your rectangle. So R area return 0. Okay, I am going to return the value, okay, return 0, so that now if you observe, if you are going to return the value here, your return type for main function should be integer. What kind of information you are going to return? That is nothing but integer data type of file, right? So you can also have return 0 integer. You can close this braces, right? Now, if you compile this program again, just like previous program, you are going to have some kind of warning, some kind of errors, right? To remove those errors, you need to include some header files. Which kind of header files you can include? Hash include IO strings. There are some common header files that should be included in our programs. If you are including some special functions, special functionalities, to use those special functionalities, you should use the respective header files. Now I am also using hash include audio.h. Okay, and to have clear screen every time whenever I am going to execute this kind of program, I am using here CLR, SCR, and here also gauge field. Okay, so that your console speed should hold for some time. Okay. Now IOC and audio.h. After this, after including these header files, you are again going to compile this program, and after compiling this program, you will observe that all the errors from this program or all the warnings from this program have been removed. After running this program, you will get output on your console screen just like this. What will be the message? The message before this output will be area of rect is equal to area of rect is equal to. Now see the working. have just prepared, you just have declared one variable with return type or data type rectangle, right? You have initialized the length of that rectangle object to 4 and breadth to 5. Now the value of length is nothing but 4, value of breadth is nothing but 5. That are going to be used in your program. So 4 multiplied by 5, that is nothing but 20. This 20 is going to be initialized to a, which is again the integer variable a, right? And we are going to bring a state a after this message. That is area of rect is equal to 20. So likewise, you can write down the program by using the object-oriented programming concepts. Okay. So this is a program which can be which we have written with the help of class and objects, and we also have one type of method in our class. You can have number of functions, number of functionalities, number of methods in your single class. Okay, so this is another program which can be seen as a C++ program by using the object-oriented concepts. Okay, so this is all about our base lecture. Okay. In next lecture, we will try to understand the more basic things, just like those what are these integer data types, what are those functions, methods, all those things we are going to discuss in next lecture in detail. Okay. So in today's lecture, we are going to stop here. We will discuss the next part of our lecture in next lecture. Okay. Thank you very much.